Hello my lovelies and welcome back to another live video. We are now going live and making one of the most important components of my Tex-Mex brunch, and that is going to be the Spanish rice. You can see I'm using the same pan in which I made the chipotle paneer fajitas. I'm making this in the same pan that I use for my beans, and I have not washed the pan. So it's great because all of the seasonings and all of the frond that's going to now get deglazed from the water that I'm boiling for the rice is going to add more flavor to my rice. So I'm making 2 packets of this rice. We are 4 people for the party, and then I need some for my family. This is the brand that I'm using. It's from Aldi. You can use any Spanish rice. According to this, you need to put 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of water for every 1 packet of rice. And bring it to a boil. I've also added a little bit of butter and olive oil to the water. Everything goes in. While this is happening, I am going to show you how I make the dipping sauces and the condiments that go. We are going to make a cilantro avocado crema. We will also make a corn queso dip. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make that from store-bought ingredients. Here I'm going to go ahead and add some cilantro to this. I will be including half a can of pinto beans along with my rice. So this rice cooks very differently from basmati rice. I think you have to cover it immediately and everything cooks while it's covered. I'm going to drain the liquid from these beans. And just stick them into the rice. Okay, you can see the color is beautiful. I'd actually bought tomato paste and this and that, but I feel like it does not need anything at all. I'm gonna, however, go ahead and add some green peppers just to keep the colors going. It's nice and vibrant, and that's how we want it. And I'm gonna have to try to find the cover to this pan. Hello, hello, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. I am Chef Nupur. I make curry in my kitchen in Queens, but today I'm doing a Tex-Mex brunch for some of my friends, and so I thought I should bring you into this live. As it is, a lot of you are sending messages that, hey, what's the matter, we don't see you on the live videos anymore. So you know what, I'm here today and I'm going to make all the videos that you need. So there you go. This is going to get covered. I also have some corn in the microwave that I had boiled for my queso corn dip. And I'm going to use some kernels from here just to add a little more textural variety. You can add mushrooms, you can add other things to this rice. If you have picky eaters at home who don't want to eat vegetables, this is a great way to sneak in whatever vegetables you want to give them. You can even take spinach and chop it really fine and stick it in there, right? The seasonings are already there in the rice. If you don't want to use the store-bought seasonings, then just use rice, tomato paste, garlic, a little bit of bouillon, and you'll have a very similar taste. Okay, so this is coming along very nicely. I think next time I'm going to do black beans in the rice, and I'm going to do pinto beans as the bean for the quesadilla filling, because I feel like the contrast of the black beans against the red rice looks really nice. Okay, so back to being covered. I'm going to put it on a medium flame. Let me make some space here so I can show you how we make the dips and queso, etc. There's a spill behind me, so bear with me while I pick that up. Sheesh, not easy. Okay, alrighty. So we are going to make, the first thing that we're going to make is going to be a queso. This is a store-bought salsa con queso. I got it at Aldi's. Wherever you shop, you should be able to get it. I'm very bad at opening cans, so bear with me, please. Okay. So this is what it looks like. It already has chunks of jalapenos. It has a lot of other stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the bowl in which I'm actually going to serve the dip, right? So I'm going to do 3 matching white bowls. One with salsa, one for salsa, one for the queso, and one for the crema, right? So these are my bowls. So I'll know exactly how much I have to make, right? So here's this. I'm going to add this queso. It's pretty runny, and this is at room temperature. I'm not warming it up. I'm not heating it up. I've tried to make queso myself at home, and usually what ends up happening is that it just becomes solid and gelatinous after a while. It loses its flowy consistency, so I don't really do that. Hello, Jasmine. Good morning from the Queen's Curry Kitchen. This is my pico de gallo without any salt. I'm going to add a little bit of that to the top of this. Just remember, this is supposed to be very rich in the corn flavor and the saltiness of the queso, right? I'm going to put in a little tahini. It's a great dip. Let's say you're doing like a Super Bowl party, or you're doing like a sports get together. Just do a bag of nacho chips and do this kind of a dip. It's really, really good. Everybody enjoys it. I'm dipping into my bag of corn that I just microwaved, and I'm going to squeeze out the excess liquid from it and put it in here. So you can make it as dense with the corn or not. It's totally up to you how much of corn you want. Okay, I'm going to give it a good mix and see if I need less or more. And just before serving, if you want to warm it up, you can. You want to serve it at room temperature, it'll still stay like this. It's not going to go back to being thick again. So that's what I love about using the store-bought queso. And for a party of 4, I think I spent less than $30, $25 to $30 on groceries. Because rice and beans is literally the cheapest thing right now. Nothing is cheap, but still. It is one of the cheaper things to buy. Okay, so I'm going to put a little more corn. And when I plate it, I'm going to put more corn so that people can see. When they look at it, you know what it has inside, right? Like I said, whenever you have a garnish, just make sure it's quite visible as to what it contains so that anybody who's going to eat it will know what to expect. Now this is the bowl in which I'm going to serve this, right? So this is one condiment that's already done. And I'm going to leave it at room temperature. I'll create a pretty tray of all condiments so that we can do that. Okay, so once you know what size you're serving, that it just becomes very easy to prepare it and then transfer it to a clean bowl. Just a quick wash of the bowl. And you can see I've only used not even half of this, and it's still giving me a full entire bowl of the dip. I'm going to garnish this with a little more pico de gallo, a few corn kernels to make it obvious what's in there, and of course some tahini for good measure. Okay, so that's one dip that's already done. I'm gonna make 2 more while we're here, and you'll see how incredibly simple these things are. They do not take all day. And if I wasn't talking to you, it would take even less time. Any questions y'all have for what you're seeing? Any favorites that you have from a Tex-Mex spread that you like? If you ate any of this stuff at the Super Bowl parties that you went to, let me know. Hey Nick, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. We appreciate you. The next dip I'm going to make is called a cilantro avocado crema. I don't have fresh avocado, but I have this guac that I bought, and I have one little stray container sitting in the fridge, so I'm going to definitely use this. I'm using a store-bought sour cream. Again, everything is from Aldi. And for a party of 4 people, I literally spent less than between $25 and $30 for everything that I bought. Okay, so in goes the avocado. And if you notice, like, this is not enough for 4 people, but when I add the sour cream and I add cilantro chutney to this, it really is going to give me a lot more mileage. So if you don't have the budget for buying 1 avocado per person, this is the way you can create a little nice little hack and still enjoy the flavor of avocado without sacrificing anything. This is my store-bought cilantro chutney. We have it in the restaurant at all times. If you don't have this, just take some cilantro and garlic and blitz it in the blender. That will give you your cilantro chutney. Add some chaat masala or salt, depending on whether you have access to chaat masala or not. Just keep whipping it to keep it nice and light. This is something that we have to refrigerate. We won't be able to serve it at room temperature, although I will plate it in a tray and I'll show you what it looks like. We're going to add a little tahini for that sour kick, and I'll also add a little tiny dash of lemon juice. If you have lime, that's even better. Actually, you know what? I may have cilantro essential oil. Yes, beautiful. So I have this edible essential oil of cilantro, and I'm going to use this to really elevate the flavor of this dip. Just 1 drop does the trick. You don't need a lot. It's a very, very intense oil. So we are just going to give it a make it nice and smooth. So you have all the textures. You have the queso with the texture of the corn. You have this, which is super smooth. Then you have the fresh pico de gallo. And then I'm going to do the salsa as well, right? So this is less than half a box of sour cream. If you're trying to watch your calories, you can do the same thing with Greek yogurt. Just add a little water to thin it out. That should work. Okay. Bring this over here. We are going to plate this. And then I'll show you what I'm going to top it with to make it obvious as to what it is in here. You can actually also serve this inside a bell pepper that you've hollowed out. And if you're doing like a chip and dip station, you can do that. There's just so many ways to do this, right? This is done. I'm going to add cilantro and chaat masala to the top. Chaat masala is this umami powder of Indian street food that just elevates everything and gives it a kick. So chaat masala and lots of cilantro, right? So that's my second dip. That's done. There you go. Just gonna take a quick look at the rice and see how it's doing. We can see all the water has evaporated. The rice is pretty much done. And when you make Spanish rice, you have to let it stick to the bottom because that's the best part of it. So it's crunchy. So all of my Hispanic friends tell me, no, you have to let it stick to the bottom because that's the crunchy part. Everybody likes to dig for that. All the water has evaporated. The rice is at this time perfectly cooked. I'm going to add some cilantro, and I will add a little dash of lemon juice just to brighten up the rice and to give it that fresh citrusy taste. Okay, just a quick toss, and I will be plating it in the rice tray later. There you go. This is done. Now the third thing that we are going to put in our dipping bowls is going to be store-bought salsa. That's what it looks like. I'm going to add some fresh cilantro to this. I'm going to add some tahini to this. Give it a good stir. If you don't like chunky salsa, then just blend it in the blender. You're fine. If you like more heat, you can add a little bit of the chipotle sauce to this. Okay, a little more of the cilantro and a little of the pico de gallo on top. Right. Just gonna clean the edges, and I'll bring back the tray with all 3 toppings so that you can see what we're talking about. Okay. All right, so these are our three quick dips that we have. You can make these and serve this with a bag of nacho chips. You can serve this with your favorite snacks and use that to dip. There you go. We have the corn crema queso. We have the cilantro avocado crema. And we have the store-bought salsa, the easiest thing. Right? There you go. So I hope you're going to give this a try. I hope you can put together a brunch for your friends just as I'm enjoying putting a brunch together for my friends. If you missed any of the videos where I made the beans, where I made the fajita filling, where I made the drinks for the brunch, definitely check out the videos on this page. Follow my page and keep your notifications on. I need to get out of my jammies and get into the shower, wear some decent clothes, and welcome my friends. I will share pictures on my story of how everything gets plated and how everything looks. But until then, you don't do anything crazy. Have a lovely weekend. I will see you again in another video soon. Bye.